I'm Bassa. I'm head of cryptography at Veridise, and I'm involved in many of the ZK audits that we do. ZK is a basic primitive that defies our intuition of what is possible. It allows us to provide proofs about objects without revealing further details about those objects themselves. So this is the zero knowledge aspect. Or alternatively, it allows us to convey to another party that we have done a certain computation in a way that the other party doesn't have to go through the whole computation itself. So this is the succinctness aspect of zero knowledge. It is quite paradoxical, but it just opens the door to many new applications that were inconceivable before. Recently, we have seen an emergence of many ZK applications, from privacy-based smart contracts to ZK rollups to ZK VMs, which are based on a new primitive that allows to incorporate some new features like privacy and also scalability. And we have noticed in our audits that applications that involve this new feature are twice as likely to have serious vulnerabilities than normal classical applications. So in classical programming, you would have a sequence of steps that would form your computation, and at the development phase and also during auditing, you would make sure that the computation that's intended to be done is done correctly and there are no vulnerabilities. When you're working with ZK applications, you have this additional component where you specify your computation not through the steps that are taken, but by the constraints, by the restrictions it should satisfy. And to have a proper ZK application, you need that the computation to be precisely reflected in the constraints that define the computation. And in many cases, the computation itself and the circuits, those are the gadgets that specify the computation itself, might be quite different. Many cases where there can be some deviation between the two, and it requires a new mindset for developing, and because you have to not only think of the computation itself, but you have to think of a way of describing the structure of the computation using constraints. And this novel approach poses, of course, new challenges both at the development and at the auditing stage. One of our most prominent tools geared towards ZK circuit auditing is PICUS. PICUS is a tool based on SMT solvers to detect under-constrained circuits. So these are circuits where the circuit itself does not necessarily reflect the computation that it should specify because it is missing constraints in it. And PICUS uses the strong power of SMT solvers to automatically detect those. In the past, we've been fortunate enough to work with big players in the field. So we audited the virtual machine of Risc Zero, Succinct, Linea, O1JS. We have partnerships with Alio, and we have audited some very classical Circom libraries like Circomlib. We have been in this field for a long time. We have acquired quite some expertise. We have a team of talented people with a very diverse background, coming partly from academia, coming from a formal methods programming languages background, which fed directly into the development of very sophisticated tools that are geared directly towards auditing zero-knowledge circuits. Current projects have become so complex that you have to combine many different expertise, and we believe to be able to do that with a very diverse group of teammates together. Veridise has a strong focus on development in the ZK domain, and we have been auditing in the space since a long time. We have developed a strong and sophisticated toolset that assists us in our auditing. So if you have any security needs, including auditing and consultancy, reach out to us.